We are on the first part of Math 1. We call it Math Test A, and we will now be dealing with, in this case, the algebra of numbers and integers. Let's go to our first topic. Our first question says if O is odd and E is even, which of the following is always true? And we have four choices in here. There will be a lot of different approaches in answering this question, but for my case, I would assign an odd and an even number. In this case, I would say let my odd number be 1. We can also choose 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, and so on. I just chose 1 because it's easiest number for an odd number. For an even number, I would choose 2, but we can choose 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, or any number that is a multiple of 2. Now, let's try each of these different cases in here. If I'll try letter A, it says O plus 3E, then that will be equivalent to O being 1 in my case, and plus 3E, my E is 2 in this case, and solving this one by my order of operations, I'll start with multiplying 3 by 2 first, which is 6, and 1 plus 6 equals to 7, which is an odd number. So in this case, letter A is wrong. Let us consider letter B. In this case, it says O cubed plus E, and let's solve for it. My O is simply 1, I'll cube it, plus my E, which is 2. 1 cubed is simply 1, plus 2, and that will be a 3. And as we know, 3 is also an odd number, so therefore this should be an odd number in here, same as letter A, then that means B is also wrong. Now let's try a different choice. Let's try letter C in this case. It says O plus E squared. So in this case, my O or odd number is 1, my E is 2, and then I'll square that. I have now 3 squared. I will add first those inside the parentheses according to order of operations, and I'm going to get 9, which is an odd number as well. So therefore, letter C is actually wrong. That should be an odd number. That only leaves me with letter D as my correct answer in this case. Obviously, by the method of elimination. In number 2, we are trying to simplify negative 6 squared minus parenthesis quantity 20 divided by 5 times 4 minus parenthesis quantity 16 minus 12 plus 4. So in order to solve for this one, we're going to deal with the order of operations. In this case, we're going to use our mnemonic, which is PEMDAS, corresponding to parenthesis for P, exponent for E, multiplication and division for M and D, and addition and subtraction for A and S. Take note in here that multiplication and division can interchange, and addition and subtraction can interchange depending on the order of the operations in there. But the parenthesis and the exponent should always be the first and the second considerations for solving our expression in here. So with this being said, we're going to start with letter P or parenthesis. So inside the parenthesis, we have the following: the 20 divided by 5 times 4, and the 16 minus 12 plus 4. So with that, with those two parentheses, we have the following. We have a division in here and a multiplication. And on the other parentheses, we have a subtraction and then addition. And as we said a while ago, we can do, we can interchange those two in there according to the given expression. So with that being said, I can divide this first, 20 divided by 5, which is equal to 4, and then 4 times 4, which is equal to 16. So which means that this whole thing in here, or this whole expression inside this parenthesis, can be equal to 16. The same with 16 minus 12 plus 4. I can start with, or I should start with 16 minus 12 first, which is 4, plus the 4 on the outside, or the third term. 4 plus 4 will now be equivalent to 8. Therefore, I have solved those inside the parenthesis. I can check on that one. And I have the following in here now. Equivalent to negative 6 squared minus bracket 16 minus 8 bracket. After this, since 16 minus 8 is still inside the parenthesis, then I'm going to do the 16 minus 8 in here, which will turn out to be 8. Hence, I will now have negative 6 squared minus 8 in this case. After this, I'm going to deal now with the exponent, which is the power 2 in here. So, in this particular case, I'm not considering the negative yet. Instead, I am simply getting the square of the 6. Again, I'm getting the square of the 6, but not the negative 6. So with that being said, I will simply copy the negative in there, and then since 6 squared is equal to 36, 6 times 6 is equal to 36, and I'll put a minus 8 after that. So again, I'm done now here with the exponent. Now after this one, I have now negative 36 minus 8, which is simply subtraction. So negative 36 minus 8 will give me a negative 44 in this particular case. Hence, the answer now is negative 44. Again, we did use the order of operations in this case, where we started with the parenthesis, next is the exponent, next is the multiplication and division, and the next will be the addition and subtraction. Question number 3 for decimals, fractions, and percentages. In this case, we want to evaluate the value of 19.5 squared plus 20.5 cubed. In here, I would use my test-taking skills in a sense that the choices are as follows: 89, 899, 8,995, and 89,953, approximately for each of them, considering all of their whole numbers in there, which means that they're pretty far apart from each other, which means that in this case, I can safely round off. As my technique, I can simply round off or approximate the value of 19.5 and 20.5 and say that more or less they are near 20. Again, I simply did approximate them to be near more or less 20. And then since 19.5 is squared, then I will square the 20, the first 20, and the 20.5 is cubed, then I will cube the next approximately 20 as well. And then I'm going to add both of them. Again, what I'm doing in this case is to round off 19.5 and 20.5 to the nearest number that is most convenient for me. You might be thinking right now, 20.5 should be rounded off as 21. I would say yes, you can do that. But for my case, for my personal opinion in here, and considering 20 is easier to cube than 21, I would simply choose 20. With this being said, I can have my answer as follows. So approximately 20 squared is approximately 400 by seeing 20 times 20 is equal to bring down the zero, the first zero, and then 2 times 20 will be 40 in this case, which is 400. The next one, to get my 20 cube, I will multiply this 400 by another 20 to get my 20 cube. So again, this first zero, bring this down, and then 2 times 400 will be 800. So in this case, this is now approximately 8,000 for 20 cube. So in this case, I would approximate my answer to be more or less 8,400. And seeing in here, which among the following answers is nearest 8,400, hence I would have my final answer in here to be letter C. Again, I use the method of rounding off in here, our approximation, so that I won't be spending too much time and effort to actually get the exact answer for 19.5 squared and 20.5 cubed, which will definitely be taking me a lot more time to consider. Again, I use some test-taking tips in this case, what I call rounding off and approximation.